so I don't plan shit in my life.
Which is how I find myself currently in Sturbridge, Massachusetts. But
that's besides the point, since we gotta head back to Ohio. I know, why the f would I go to that state? Well, the answer was a bed not in a minivan, so cut me some slack. But the real answer, just like most of my life's adventures, is disc golf. Swiss Cheese and I just got done spectating the Disc Golf World Championships. Our meeting location happened to be in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. And just when we were about 30 minutes away from the destination, the phone rings and goes something like this.
Yep, almost there.
I got some friends that play disc golf. Immediately in my head, I'm thinking, shit, now I gotta entertain some goofy dude after I just spent the last 7 hours in the passenger seat editing a damn video. But how I actually responded?
Of course, we'd love to.
See guys, this internet shit's just a facade. Well, sorta. I'll still call your disc shit to your face, but at least I'll do it with a smile. We showed up to the stranger's house and were instantly greeted with hugs. The introverts we are felt kinda odd, but we carried on. We then met Joel and quickly learned about his home course. And when I say that, I really mean a course at his home. He has 6 baskets scattered around the yard with different tees dictated by dirt that make up the 18-hole layout we played. Although he has a few different variations, one including a 24-hole layout. This is no pitch and putt par 2 course either. It has holes that I was throwing as hard as I could on, which is pretty rare on these types of courses. The first thought I had when we started messing around was I needed the first ever eagle on the par 5, especially after Joel told me it wasn't possible. Of course I did it on my first try, which gave me a new goal. That be set the course record. Currently, it's sat at 9 under, and with the few holes under my belt, I felt confident enough in my abilities. Enough so, I stayed an extra night in Ohio. No other way I was making that decision. Hole 1, we kicked it off with an easy Firebird sidearm that got a friendly tree kick, setting up the first birdie of the round. Only 9 more to go. Maybe I spoke too soon as my bad shot gets even worse. Shit. Alright, we'll only need to get 10 more birdies now. This hole might not have the most distance, but the dogleg left you need is pinched off. I went with the spike hyzer and connected on the sick elevated basket. I love that he makes it look nice with the specific place rocks, and when he continues to add more, it'll look even cooler. This is how you're supposed to make greens on easy holes. Also, quickly gotta say, I'm a sucker for extra aesthetically pleasing amenities, and the animal skeletons are well done, sir. Although, if you're gonna do it, gotta do it for all the baskets. While we're getting decorative, why stop at just those? Let's get some cool carvings, statues, or other cool stuff scattered around the property to bring Flying High to life. You got too much of a badass name to not do some dope shit. Alright, tangent over. The local going with this tricky low flex line when all you need is a stock forehand hyzer. Tap in for the birdie and move on with your 2 under. Now we're at the par 5. So I didn't eagle it, but I came back 2 weeks later on my way to Pennsylvania and short-haired Jefferson was able to snag it, so we're going to break that down instead. The drive, you want to throw it as far as you can, as long as you get past and to the left of the tree in the fairway. Your approach then needs to go to the right of those 2 trees as they're mandos. I know, kills creativity, but the minivan's over there, so we gotta protect it from you noodle arms. The Firebird put me at the edge of the circle for the most nerve-wracking putt of my life, but was able to smack the eagle, making me 2 for 3.
It's a par 4, bitch!
It's a par 4. Okay, back to the important round now, because dumbass over here fucked up, and we now gotta settle for the bird. Boo-hoo. So I forgot to press record, but I got another birdie here. Trust me, Joel wouldn't let me lie. He really didn't want me breaking this shit. Gimmicks like this narrow mando are another great example of how to add scoring separation. And let me tell you, that gap is much smaller than it looks. Kinda like something else. Your boy happened to make the gap, but in Joel's case, he would be throwing again off the tee, this time without the mando. Left me long in this nonsense. Thankfully, the putter was on. Good use of elevation and trees for this next hole. When you have limited space and resources, it's important to utilize what you have in every way possible. Flying High does a great job at doing that. I learned this local route the night before. This course makes you think though, which is important.
Oh my god, dude, you motherfucker. And I was gonna go there, I was like, dude, how do I park? I heard you, I almost forgot, and I was like, damn it, forget.
Especially when the hole was no more than 250 feet. This is the first hole that I would call lame, but the second time I played it, it was changed, and honestly became one of my favorite holes. Now I can blast something over the top. How can you hate on that? The changing of the basket also affected this hole in a positive way because instead of a basic ass sidearm, it turns into a touchy shot that incorporates some natural OB. And I ended up bogeying it. So both good changes since it prevents a blind hole birdie, as some would call it. Kind of like this next hole, which is a simple hyzer. I ended up throwing long of the basket and missed a circle 2 putt. My forehand game has been feeling super off as of late, and this is a perfect example. No excuse for the putt though. That shit was just ass. Here comes a par 4. The awkward low ceiling prevents anything too big off the tee, but you really don't need crazy distance to get a fairly easy birdie. Good thing if you've been paying attention, you would have noticed this hole was another change due to the basket switch. Now it's much more extended, making it a true par 4. But hey, birdies are birdies is what I was always told. This stupid hole pisses me off still, because it's too easy, but the damn low ceiling and weird in-between distance makes it hard to find the right height to get all the way to the basket without worrying about sailing past. Or, make a putt. I like this shot because it forces a flip-up forehand to have a full flight. You can tell the bend is extreme because of this stupid angle, but cool birdie. Not an easy one. This ending stretch is the hardest part of the course. Hole 16, you gotta make the gap, which seems simple, but you're also thinking of pushing as far left, or you won't have a chance at the birdie. Well, that's what happened here. Overthought that one, and the approach to the max, which gave me my second bogey.
That's not good.
Okay, shit.
Fucking idiot.
I did a horrible job at telling my score, but frankly, I couldn't care less about that. I'm more focused on how awesome it would be to have this in my backyard. But for those not paying attention, currently I'm 9 down, tied with the course record, and honestly, the only thing worse than not beating the record would be to tie. So I need to make something happen. Joel would be on the box for the first time all day, which was perfect because he showed me this local route that didn't even cross my mind.
That's less local line? Big forehand?
Yeah.
Very convenient as I was stressing just to get the bird like it was nothing.
Yep. Boom. Look at that.
Way to show me the line.
Yeah. One time that I have to fucking go first. Right.
Perfect.
What the fuck, dude?
Because I was not doing that.
The final hole, you got a forehand because you got to go left of the trees, and the only thing on my mind was don't miss the fucking Mando, so I blasted a forehand.
The Mando song's out of my head, bro. I'm going to make sure I hit
I know.
Like, I'm not taking a dumb bogey right now.
Took my par and walked away the new course record holder.
I just was not taking a bogey on the last hole, tie that shit. No way, sir.
Definitely on the list of top 10 coolest shit I've ever done. But seriously, the way more important part to this was the experience I got from this dope home course. I don't even care that Joel uses the truth. There's something truly about a disc golfer who only cares about the joy they can provide others. That's the idea behind flying high. To enjoy the moment of disc golf, being away from the bullshit from the outside world, coming somewhere safe to be with the ones closest to you, or to bring in others and share that weird thing us disc golfers all have in common. I'm not sure how to describe it, but I do know for some reason, we all got it. I don't want to talk to any person usually ever. The robots taking over the checkout lanes fucking up the old AVR throwers are made for people like me, unless you put me around disc golfers. Then I become a berg thrower. That's a metaphor. Fuck that disc. What I mean is, I won't shut up, because I know those people are ready to nerd out about frisbees, and that's the greatest thing ever. It's even better when other disc golfers take it upon themselves to create these safe havens, or sanctuaries if you will. Either way, it's a place we can go and fully let loose. Not sure if you guys have been to a home course like this, but I hope you do one day. It's a different type of disc golf, but there's still lots to appreciate about it. You might not need to throw super long every shot, but there's still plenty of shapes, gaps, and everything you need to make disc golf great in a much smaller space. And the best part, no lost discs, just temporarily hidden. Big thanks to Joel for showing me around flying high. Sorry I had to take your course record the first time I played. Although I left plenty of room for you to take it back. But next time I come through, I'm not going as easy. And hopefully then there's some cool changes I can bitch about. Or cool decorations I can appreciate. Guys, I gotta be real. The uploads are not gonna be consistent. I'm sorry, but I really underestimated the work over at the Disc Golf World, especially when we only keep doing more. but I have 4 more weeks on the road, so after that, the content will be flowing. I promise. But for now, I'll still be posting, just at random times. Still plenty of cool stuff coming soon, so make sure to subscribe. And as soon as the Berdogi channel hits 3,000 subscribers, I'm dropping the ranking of every Discraft disc ever made. So make sure to tell your friends their disc sucks and come to subscribe.
I just knew that was going in. I knew the entire time that was going in.